Now the other side of the coin, so we have seen the government schemes. Now let us see something about the private insurances, cashless and private insurances. May I call on stage the moderator for the next session, Dr. Ashish Shah and Dr. Pankaj Maheshwari to moderate this session. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhijit. May I call upon the first speaker, Ashish Jashani. He will talk on can I improve my practice with insurance.
Hello. Let me start by my story. Now, in the time that I'm doing urology, I was from the institute. Our only worries were what duty submitter will give us next transplant night or who will, when will we get a firing from MRD sir. And at the end of the day, suppose we were just go to CG, have an ice cream and come back and that was it. That was the days of our residence for all of us in whichever institute. When we came out, we realized we had to work, we had to earn. And that was the time that the problem started. Initial of our practice for all of us was low income patients, middle time patients, running around and all that. Insurance was nowhere to be seen. Remember our practice 20, 25 years back. There was hardly any patient coming for insurance. Over few patients that used to come for insurance. We used to give them we had those printed receipts your time. We used to give a printed receipt. They wanted a breakup, we used to give it on our consulting paper and that was maybe one case a month or so. That was the scenario maybe 20 years back for most of us. Gradually what we saw, the number of insurance patients started trickling in, then it became a flow and then it became a deluge. What happened about 6 years back, what Rohit said, 6, 8 years back, suddenly PMJY came and all our lower tier patients disappeared. All of them disappeared. So suddenly what we were doing, 1% of insurance instead of about 20 years back, it converted to about 70-80% of insurance patients in a bank. This is the scenario that has changed in the last 20 years and why this discussion is required now. How do you make insurance work for you? You already heard about PMJ, right? But as far as insurance goes, we have to be proactive. So, in today's healthcare and landscape, working with insurance companies is a necessary part of growing and sustaining your successful practice. So while navigating the complexities of insurance can be intimidating, like in PMJY, understanding the basics and implementing effective strategies can help you grow your practice while providing quality care to your patients. It is a balance now. You have to grow your practice and provide quality care. So why this presentation on insurance? There are 5 fundamentals that I have included here. Insurance fundamentals, building strong relationships with the company, your strategies for growth, navigating claims, and finally the legal aspects. We'll go into each one of them. Now, what is the role of insurance from a patient's perspective? From the patient's perspective, it means managing the risk and providing financial protection in times of need. But actually, however, the role of insurance is much bigger and it promotes access to care. It is not just the finance. Majority of the patients would not have come to you if they did not have that insurance. So it is the access to care part of insurance that is most important. So by getting an insurance, they came to your hospital, otherwise they would have not come to you. So without insurance, many of these individuals would be unable to afford necessary medical treatments, leading to inadequate care. And as far as we are concerned, for healthcare providers, it serves as a mechanism for reimbursement, ensuring that you receive payment for the care that you provide. So by working with these insurance companies, what do you gain? You expand your patient base. And second, increase your patients and your practice's revenue. This financial stability that you get helps you in three ways. You invest in more advanced medical technology, you can hire more skilled staff, and provide higher and better quality care for your patients. That is why insurance collaboration is a must in today's life. Now, how do you go about it? Communication is the key. Insurance, establishing and maintaining strong relationship with all the insurance companies is absolutely essential for the growth and success of your practice. Insurance is not an invisible monster behind the walls. Don't think that whom will I ask, how will I ask. Insurance is a communication thing. Open and clear communication is crucial when working with the companies. Like what Bridget said for PMJY, promptly respond to queries, provide necessary documentation, keep lines of communication always open. You should have a liaison officer. If you are even a small setup, say a 10-minute setup, you can always keep a liaison officer and talk about it later on. Building a reputation. First thing was communication, second was building a reputation. How? Reliability and professionalism. It is a two-way process, always. So, good past record with the company will strengthen your relationship with insurance and increase the likelihood of timely reimbursement. Avoid pleasing your patients by modifying the due date, falsifying or inflating your bill. This is a common thing that patients come and tell us. Sir, I have this co-payment, I have this, reduced by 10-15%, kindly increase my bill. What happens in the companies is they have a track record, like what he said there in AI. They have a track record. Suppose you are sending 100 patients for billing in the company. Fluctuations in your bills are noticed by the company. And that is where those red flags come up. So stop doing all these things and providing any kind of wrong certification. Which is where you start coming into problems with those companies. One such misdemeanor, if caught, will tarnish your reputation with all these companies. Like what we have, Abhijit said that we have a WhatsApp group and we discuss the cases. They have their own portal. Insurance companies have a common portal. So, misdemeanor our problem with HDFC will land you in problems with all the other companies. So don't do that. And think of yourself, put yourself in the company's shoes. What happens is, they have protocols, guidelines, systems in place to ensure that the claims are processed accurately and efficiently, avoiding all malicious or fraudulent claims. What I mean by this is, I am talking about a patient about a year back. This was a reimbursable patient. So about 10 days, some insurance person came to my hospital and asked me for all kinds of papers, but he also asked for my indoor patient register. So I said, we have already provided you bills, we have provided you the case summaries and everything. Why do you need my indoor register? So he said, sir, I'll tell you a story. Just a week before that, he had a claim from a hospital in Amreli, which is a town in Gujarat. He went for an inquiry and there was no hospital. There was no hospital. It was an orthopedic claim. There was no doctor. If you read the paper, yesterday's newspaper, Rajkot is, this has happened in Rajkot also yesterday. And there has been a claim of 40 lakhs which has been rejected. Yes, physiotherapy. There is a claim yesterday. So, think from the company's perspective also. They also have to prevent all these kind of things. They need to investigate. So don't be irritated or afraid when they come and ask for queries. You have to answer to them. Keep yourself informed about the specific requirements of different. They are idiosyncratic. Like us, everyone has a different way of approaching a TUR. Similarly, every company has their own method of functioning. We have to adhere to those. And familiarize yourself with their billing procedures. Again, they are little different for each company. You have a separate MOU for each company. So you have joined Reliance, it will be a little different if you join HDFC or if you have gone to extra company. One of the 5 government companies are very different. You need to familiarize yourself with them. IMSAs are the most difficult to handle of all the private companies. IMSAs are most difficult to get out of. But adhering to these guidelines will streamline and make nothing easier for you. So what are the strategies that you need to increase your growth? In these strategies, the first 2 slides I have kept are on patient experience. You will ask me why patient experience slides in insurance. This is noticed. So what are those? Patient experience is crucial. Why? Create a warm and working and pleasant environment. Ensure easy appointment scheduling. doctor-patient relationship, listen to the patient, investment into technology solutions to enhance patient experience. What they mentioned, even one complaint by a patient, a simple email from the patient, it goes to the company, it gets registered over there. And it's unlike a government portal, insurance would not tell you about it. These are registered. Over a period of time, these accumulate. So if your patient experience is not good, the hospital experience is not good, then there is a problem with insurance. You can ask the patient for referrals. See, as I mentioned, 20% refer, 20% don't. 60% would refer if you ask them. Increase your referral. Then offer incentives. I am not going into detail of all this. Educate your patient. This is important. Inform the patients about services that you offer and how they can benefit from them. And train your staff. Again, a dedicated staff trained for insurances is important. Another aspect of working with insurance is an efficient billing system. Implement electronic billing systems. Don't go for manual systems. And provide real-time updates. Identify areas in the billing which need to be updated and update with your staff. Accurate coding. Again, every company has a different set of coding. You need to understand codings from various companies. Modify your hospital management according to those coding schedules. Submit timely claims. So suppose it query from the company. Sometimes the query closes within 24 or 48 hours. Say pre-authorization query there. If you don't submit within that time, you lose that pre-authorization. And fourth, surgery. Sometimes those queries have to be answered within 7 days. So be aware about that. You confirm to those timings. Review and negotiate your contracts regularly. They are very resistant to them. Insurance companies, as we all know, every 2 years, 3 years, you should form a habit of trying and negotiate your contracts. Outsource your billing. This is what I have done in my office. I have found it very useful. Till now, I am grateful my handover. Now I have a company called Optimus who does all this for me. Forms new charts every 2-3 years. Follows up the billing, whether the claims are passed or not. What are the queries? I have to pay them a fee, but it has reduced my headache significantly. Outsourced to such company, it has helped me a lot. And just last 1 or 2 slides. Understanding the legal aspects. Whenever you join a company, insurance company, you should have your legal advisor. Just don't be happy that a company has accepted you on your cashless. Let your legal advisor read, go through those things. See that there are no loopholes where you can get caught from the patient's perspective or from the financial perspective. And join multiple networks, arrange and go along with their programs. To increase your visibility, you have to be on their list. So review that list, whether you are on that list of that insurance company, be a patient and see whether you are on that list. Once you are on that list, they are more likely that the patients will come directly. The visibility is most important. And educate your patient. And finally, as I mentioned, these are the 5 things. So by mastering these aspects, you can build a thriving practice, provide quality care to your patients. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashish, for the wonderful synopsis. May I call upon Dr. Ravi Jain? Ravi is to talk on the various cashless options available and his experience.
Thank you, Imadi sir, Sabnet sir, respected West Zone Council, and my friend Dr. Abhijit for giving me this opportunity to talk on various cashless available and experience. Well, I have here to disclose that I am a clinician and a neurosurgeon, and the finances is supposed to be looked after by the billing department. There is no association with any policy, any company, and there is no intent to promote or demote anybody. And these observations vary across the hospitals, patients, cities, and this draft has no medical legal significance. Well, when Dr. Abhijit asked me to talk on cashless, first thought which came to my mind was, it's none of my business. Why? Why I should talk? But then I realized, yes, it is about talking about business. And at the end of my story, I may sound good, I may sound bad. I apologize for that. But here I'm not to answer, here I'm to question. So cashless, we all know that these are healthcare facilities which don't take any upfront payment from the patient. And these are hospitals which are empaneled on the cashless network. Pre-authorization is required and they are faster claim processing. Well, the criteria for getting empanelment for a hospital is that they should have a robust and a good infrastructure. Minimum bed strength is required. The requirements vary from hospital to hospital. But good part is that these hospitals should have good standards, fire NOC, biomedical waste disposal, etc. And preferably the hospitals with better standards have got better empanelment. Well, what is good and what is bad? There is always good something and bad something. Definitely assures the patient of quality healthcare because the hospitals have got good standards. Patient doesn't have to pay from his own pocket, and that is where the patient prefers that, oh, I don't have to pay upfront. And the benefit to the doctor and the hospital is that payment is from the company and not we don't have to really talk with the patient. And in a way directs more number of OPDs, more number of operating procedures, and it also serves as a tool of marketing. Well, cashless comes as open packages and PPN, that is preferred provider network packages, and there are GIPSA, that is the 4 or 5 government companies, and there are multiple insurance companies. But now, all that glitters is not gold, and every patient is different, we believe, but yes, every cashless company is also different. So what are the gray zones? The disadvantages to the patient. All cashless companies don't cover all urology procedures. Number one. The packages vary as per the company, the TPA, the policy amount insured, corporate or individual tie-up, the hospital and the city as well. Few companies don't pay for RIRS, NIST therapy for BPH, robotics. They still consider RIRS as an advanced procedure. The equipment charges are not payable. Laser fiber, bipolar, robotics, etc. The disposables. Which urology procedure can be done without a gloves and catheter and a Eurobag? Why? Why they don't pay for it? And the provision for complications, ancillary procedures is limited. Disadvantages to the hospitals and the doctors. They are not available at all hospitals. Low, and I must say sometimes even pathetic packages. Payment to the hospital is delayed and variable. Despite initial approval, final payment doesn't come to what it was promised, and what is deducted actually costs to the doctor's pocket. Packages are not revised regularly. This is my own patient where I had applied for a RIRS, and in the initial estimate and the approval, what came was RIRS is not payable and we will pay you only what is payable as per the PCNL package. This is a patient whom I planned for a robotic radical prostatectomy, and when we sent the initial approval this patient had a 75 lakh rupees policy. He was an ex-employee of a national insurance company, and in the initial approval only they bluntly refused to pay for almost 1,58,000 rupees. See, any patient is not ready to pay 1,58,000 rupees from his own pocket in which he has got such a handsome policy. So why is it not payable? A few data of my own patients where RIRs and few of the procedures, ultimately the patients had to end up paying a lot of money from their own pocket, and it was usually the thing that the government insurance companies didn't pay as much was expected. Private insurance companies paid to quite a considerable extent. So, message to all the companies, the cashless companies, I really want to ask them, or really want to tell them, we doctors don't sell health. We don't treat our patients as per the medical policy. We don't treat him what will be paid and what will be deducted. So medicine is a relation and bond between the doctor, between the hospital and between the patient. Non-approval many times leads to friction between the doctor, patient, the hospital. And this is what sometimes, even after doing a fantastic surgery, even after treating the patient as your own family, this is what sometimes the patient really starts staring us. So, quality of healthcare shouldn't get affected. Trust between the patient, hospital and the doctor shouldn't get torn just because it's not approved. To finally conclude, cashless facility can be either like a fixed lunch, can be like an a la carte, but whatever it is, there is nothing like a free lunch. Not for the patient, not for the doctor. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ravi. May I call upon Dr. Chandramohan Vaddi, please? He'll talk on how to get our hospital enlisted for various cashless.
Respected Maheshwar sir, seniors and my dear colleagues, I will take half minute before I start this presentation. In 2009, I first time came to Nadiad and sat in the same place and learnt my RIRS. And in 2010, I came and practiced laparoscopy and I did laparoscopic nephrectomy on pig intestine. Since then, I was coming regularly every 3 months for 5 years. And whatever today I upgraded my skill after my MCH is because of MPH. I thank them before I start my talk. As Joshi told, these topics are we prepared when Subnisher asked us to prepare. So we may not be very much knowledge. Tomorrow topic where how to put satellite center, I'm little better knowledge than this. And I also thank West Zone, particularly Rajesh Kukreja contacted me and Sapin sir told me to do this talk. More useful is even in financing card when I came, I contacted the person who has given good lecture here. Since then I invested money. I invested around 1 crore, it has become 2 crores now. This is 4 years back. So every aspect of this room, I really felt happy that I have progressed in these 20 years after my MCH. Sorry for that one minute. So how to get the hospital listed in various cashless companies? If you get an idea and one important person in your hospital who knows this, basically typing and emailing and documentation simply. But you need to have little knowledge that I will tell you in 5-6 minutes. Next slide please. Is it here? Yeah, sorry. So why hospitals should empanel cashless companies? They already discussed. Who renders the cashless benefits, who provides. So primarily it is divided private insurance companies, that is direct insurance company, nationalized insurance company, central government health scheme, employee state insurance and ESI corporations, Arogyasri is our logo, individual government departments, Ayushman Bharat. Some of them are already covered. See, these are direct insurance companies. You can go and tie up with them directly. ICICI, Star Health, Bajaj, HDFC, Reliance, Aditya, Birla, Tata AX. Third parties like brokerage, they will mediate your transaction. Mediasis, FHPL, Vidal Health, Paramount, MD India, Health India, Heritage Health. National insurances when we do, I have taken New India insurance because they will be loyal and we get appropriate reimbursement also. New India Insurance, United India Insurance, Oriental and National Insurance Company. In the era of cashless services, the hospital should be empaneled, there is no doubt about it. ESI managed by, these are managed by government schemes, these are difficult, already spoken by others. Now, see, first is hospital management, second is TPA, then insurers, then regulators, then patients. These are involved in the process of this. Now, benefits definition, you are already listening. Without this, it is not possible. As the previous speakers told, when we started practice, all was cash. We used to carry lot of cash, both pockets cash by roaming practice. And the wife used to take out the money and we used to sleep tired at 11 o'clock. Now, slowly it is decreasing. They are asking where is the cash. Then it will come at the month end or after 2-3 months to your account. Everything is becoming white. So one method of growing the company, the India is growing. It is inevitably, all these discussions inevitably will happen after a few years. So better the investors should be aware of it. Tax exemptions, everything. Need to maintain good relationship with insurance, already told. Never fight with them. There is a why you have not given that. They blacklist you first. Then again you have to go and first talking skills will improve. My talking skills improved after insurances are taken. I used to be rough with my staff. Now I say, hello, good morning, how are you? Are you doing well? These type of sentences I learned better. Onboarding and staff response, even in my practice also it's improving. Even talking to my colleague urologists also improving. That's also an advantage. Onboarding and staff respond quickly. You have to respond whenever they get queries. You should not put dustbin. Assign a dedicated staff member. I have 3 hospitals, 3 staff members. They will take care every day. Ensure your hospital meets the insurance quality and infrastructure standards. It is difficult, but they will also not be very particular. Keep all hospital licenses, accreditations, and documents ready and updated. So this is again same initiation. Then you have to negotiate. You have to go to the office. There you have to discuss that this is the hospital. Then MOU. When you make MOU, you should be careful. They give initial salary tariffs. That you should be careful. They give very low. Then you should take time 10 days. And then again 15-20% you hike. They will do 10%. Like any other bargaining, this is also official bargaining. You go up to 25%. They will make 10% be high. And every year you have to do it. Otherwise, 3-4 years same tariffs will be there. That is the advantage they will upgrade. Even in the different parts of the city, they give less and more. You have to accept that. You can't fight with them. Center of the city, periphery of the city, they give difference. Then documentation you have to go through. That's not a thing. Hospital registration, accreditation. NABH now, honestly speaking, they are not asking for it. The value of NABH has come down because everybody is getting initial accreditation with giving 10,000, 20,000. Without coming, initially they used to say, I am how to clean. Now, no cleaning, nothing. They are giving with photos. Then the value has come down. Initially they kept 4 strict rules. Any strict rule you keep for entire population, it will fail. It will 100% fail. That's the mistake they did. Now every year they have to. I kept 2023 boards, the same board is there. And already empanelment is done. Nobody is asking. This is the problem. The details of the doctor staff you have. I will tell one bad experience also. Infrastructure facility details, PAN card, GST, bank account details. All this you will do one for all. Then the same documents will be going. Print and one week. You have to sign continuously. In the afternoon, when case, in between case, 30 things you have to sign. In that much at least owner should do it. Then IT readiness fee. I made private limited company. There are a lot of advantages. Initially it was a partnership. When the second hospital is made private limited, then IT is important. You should know. You should see how much amount of returns are coming. How much they will ask. Last 3 years IT. Everybody is asking. Yesterday I was applying for US visa when I got a talk in Arizona. So much documentation, 1.5 hours I have to fill for visa. That to B1 visa. So these documents you have to keep with you for multiple purposes. Services, range of medical services. If multi-speciality is there, they will give more. If one specialty is there, for your specialty they will give more. But for other things they will not give much. If I do appendix, they will give 20,000. That is you should know, I am speaking on only to urology. So more benefit to the urology services. Bed count is important, 50 bedded. Usually 30-40 will be there who write 50, but certificate comes from government, they won't check it. But certain people will check that also. Infrastructure, physical facilities, equipment will be there. Building hospital credentials are important, like all these NAB, health camps also if you do, whatever credentials if you give, they take. That's what peers will be there. Contact gathered from industrial peers, they will also help. Template email should be there, your name, nations, everything matters. Everything should be formal. You can't, this is the one which in MCH we don't learn. As you grow, first clinic, then small hospital, then once insurance is mandatory, then you learn all these things. So gather hospital profile first, collect statistics, whatever the work you are doing, and include photographs, submit empanelment for proposal. It is a tedious job. Somebody has to do it, but you have to read and inspect. Changes that may encounter during the enrollment process, timelines can be changed, incomplete information, errors may be there, they have to be rectified. So application submitted, document review, credentialing, stay, site visit, contract negotiation and even if you are a owner, whenever they come, don't say that I am not there, I am in the theatre. That type of things you should not do. They feel very bad. You should go have some cup of coffee and then show the hospital. They will say that is not there, this is not there, that will come, this will come, you turn. Then they will go right in the right. So don't say that roughly if you talk and say that why it is necessary, you should not supposed to argue. They are also Ayurvedic doctors, homeopathy doctors. They are also doctors but less qualified than us. But they will be much more at a higher position. They will not listen all of you. They want to somehow cancel or they want to give lowest tariff. That is their aim. Their bosses will be scolding if you give high tariffs. You want a higher tariff, so you should negotiate. Uphold integrity, conduct compliance checks, fulfill criteria, verify accreditation, ensure accountability, maintain quality. These are all theory. So Quality Council of India and NABH accreditation will add to that. Ensuring clarity and accountability in documents is very important. Whatever on the paper, it should be very good. Approval for empanelment, legal sign-off should be there, financial sign-off should be there, credential sign-off should be there, admin sign-off should be there. All the things, your chartered accountant important, his signature is also important. So organization readiness should be there, timely agreement should be there, standards maintenance should be there, contract review is also important. Every year you have to review and submit the same documents. Accreditation renewal also should be there. So ultimately, GIPSA tariffs is also important because in all cities, they all made a group and they are dictated. Now I heard that in western countries like US, The insurance companies are only owning the hospital. Then you cannot do anything. Then where will you go? If insurance person only takes your hospital, you have to just work like a group practice, take monthly salary and go home at 5 o'clock. Do. That is the problem. They are our colleagues in US, UK are worried. Are Chandramohan, tum to acha hai, pura kama rahe. We are no practice staff, cardiologists, their income has significantly reduced. They are attacking. Insurance companies taking hold of everything. They can say no for anything. Then you cannot do it. Patient will not know all this. So, achieving clear empanelment terms, again, ensure smooth transaction, minimal misunderstanding, establish reimbursement, outline claim process, define responsibility. Final step is tariff finalization, terms and condition finalization, MOU signing, onboard the hospital into PPN network, listing the hospital as cashless service provided to earning company. Once they give it, call them to the night, have some dinner, to say thank you, so that after within no time, 1 year will come, again you have to go to them. And you have to upgrade your tariffs. So, to conclude, this is not difficult when compared to other schemes. Insurances, because they also want more empowerments, they will give it. Except some companies like Care and Bupa, these two, they have sold hundreds of patients are coming. They are not giving whatever. So we have not taken. It's up to you. There is no compulsion here. So as many if you take, it is better if you don't lose the patient. When compared to tariffs of the Yojana, they are better. For example, 60,000 for URSL, 80,000 for the RIR, 60,000 for TURP. That's slightly above 50,000. Anything above 50,000 we should accept and do. And they are also giving within 40 days. So this is the process of insurance. Thank you once again for doing that.
We didn't teach you.
Thank you, sir. Lot learned. I cannot tell all the things learned. Honestly, this room means a lot actually. Same Sub-Minister Mahesh Desai sir. First I learned RIRS here. After 5 years, Oliver Traxler sir was operating other theatre and I was operating. I was getting TSR. It is a greatest encouragement I have got, sir. OT staff says that they think that I am the student of MPA. They are very close. They came to Hyderabad for live workshop when sir was operating. And they are very close. They are very happy to see me here. These 21 years I am coming here. I am very happy.
Thank you, Chandra, for a wonderful talk. We now go to the next speaker, Dr. Aditya Gupta, to talk about the most important thing, how to recover third-party payments.
Very good afternoon to one and all. Special thank you to MRD sir, Submit sir, Vijit sir and Bishek sir for giving me this opportunity. Now today I will be talking about recovery of third-party payment. Now as I look around the room, I find that most of us are not big bull. We don't have big hospitals, we don't have many people working for us. So this is my experience in the past 2 to 3 years that I have started my private practice. There are no conflicts of interest. There are certain photos and everything which might offend someone, but those photos are of me only, right? So when we finally become a doctor or urologist, this is what comes in our mind. Congratulations, we have become doctors. Now we are going to print money, earn fame, life will be smooth and everything. So, but we do need conferences like this to tell us the hard truth, right? After getting out of the OT, we have to take our payment and run our houses. So for that, we have 3 modes of payment, particularly in India. One is cash, one is Mediclaim, which gets further divided into 2 parts, reimbursement and cashless. Cash payment, I won't be talking much. This is the best. You can charge the patient whatever you want. Patient will pay you. You can modify the bill. You can pay Modi Sahib whatever you want. So it is a good thing. But unfortunately, cash payments are increasing more and more. This is the best. Right. So the second is Mediclaim. So Mediclaim, there is reimbursement and then there is cashless. I'll fast forward this. See, in reimbursement, what happens? Patient gets admitted to your hospital, you do the surgery, you give him the bill, he will give you the money, then he submits all the documents to the insurance company, he will fight with the insurance company will give him the money, and so in general, for you, it is hassle free because there's no limit on charge. Means there is, but we can still get a good amount. It is hassle free because we do not need to do much. However, for the patient, as of now, it is becoming a very big headache because the insurance company do not provide the entire amount. Reimbursement takes long. That's lots of paperwork, and so in general, patients, they avoid reimbursement. Now the third thing comes, which is cashless, and here all the problem arises for small hospitals. See, for big hospitals and everything, cashless is better. The amounts are better. What is cashless is, you already have a fixed amount, fixed package for suppose RIRS. Now in RIRS, in my private, I charge 1, 1.2, 80, 90, whatever, according to my thing. But if I do cashless, then the charges becomes fixed. Now I'm a small urologist, I have a small hospital, 10, 15 beds. In that, the amount of RIRS charge that they are willing to pay me is around 70,000, right? So the charges are fixed. The patient comes to my hospital, I have to pre-authorize, or the patient pre-authorizes. Patient comes, he gets discharged, he does not pay me a single penny. I or my staff will submit all the documents, and then after some months I get the amount. That is, sometimes they decrease the amount, sometimes they raise queries. In general, this is a headache. Now, pros is there are a lot of patients. Patients will be very happy if you have cashless, then they will come. That's true. But for doctors, because of the paperwork, all the headache, it becomes difficult. We are basically, and there are a lot of you have to be empaneled with a lot of companies. There's a lot of government certifications, ever-changing laws which we need to do. So ultimately, we have these three options. One is this, keep calling them, receive answers or don't, whatever. Second is Vasuli, but that is to a limit. We cannot do that. Third, this is me. This is not for everyone. I say, bhai, jo hota hai dena yaar, bhi chhod. Next, we'll see for the next question. So for this time, a new thing has come since the last 3-4 years, which is third-party cashless. This basically started in US, came in Shark Tank, was a huge success, came to India, it is good. I'm not saying it's the best, but it is good. So what happens is, it is a type of reimbursement only. The thing is, a third party does everything. The patient does not do, you do not do, and for that, the third party will collect around 10% of the total fee. So what the hospital ties up with a third party cashless company. A patient comes to me, I introduce them to the third party, and then the third party and the patient, they will sign an agreement. And if the third party, they generally agree then that they will pay the amount. So, like reimbursement, I can put RIRS charges as 1, 1.2. During the bill payment, the third party will pay me 1 lakh rupees, not the patient. And then they will submit all the documents to the insurance company. Once the documents are submitted, if there are queries, then the third party will handle it. Final amount is then paid to the patient, and then the patient has to pay that amount to the third party. For this, the third party will take around 10% from us. So this is a good thing. This is a very good thing for you, those who have not explored this option. However, so the advantages is that we get the payment within 1 day. Patient does not have to pay from his own pocket. So generally, the patient actually won't know what is happening to them, and they will be like, as long as we are not paying, so they will be happy. And all the paperwork is done by a third party. So it looks like a win-win. It is. However, I do have a word of caution because I have been using third party since the last 2 to 3 years. Only one thing, that when you do that, make sure and explain to the patient that you are not at all involved in any of the finances in between him and the third party. If there is any problem with the reimbursement, if the third party has to pay or the patient has to pay or whatever, you are not at all involved. You have already paid that 10% to the third party. So with this I will conclude. Because this is a newer topic, I thought I'll keep this topic less short. If there are any questions, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditya. Just a word of caution. Of late, the insurance companies have started asking a memorandum signed from you that you are not involving any third party for TPA payments, or just recently, and they are also asking you that you should not involve third party for the bill claimant payment too.
Okay, sir. I'm not aware of that.
Recently,
I
yeah. So they are now asking you to sign an MOU that we are not Uberizing anymore
no. So if you are having cashless, then
for cashless. Yes,
no. Sorry, I
That's fine.
Cashless. See, I want cashless.
this is for cashless.
Yes, everyone wants cashless, but the problem with cashless is small hospitals, they don't give you the amount only.
They say no, you are not supposed to do that. About cashless reimbursement, there is no contact between you and the company.
Patient has everything, but still you are doing through the
No, he is talking about reimbursement.
It happens in every field. Not only this, it is legal, sir.
That means that insurance company does IRDA, TPA.
Yeah, that's a third party. Exactly. Exactly. The other thing is that they say in US insurance companies have started making hospitals. In India now the instrument companies have also started making the hospitals. So we should know that also. Questions open for questions. Yeah, Rohit, please.
Just a comment for the Ravi. Ravi, where are you, Ravi? Yeah, so you asked that, why the gloves charges are not paid. So I tell you a story. When I won a panel of insurance company. So one doctor came and asked. So the insurance company, the official asked, sir, when you go to hotel, do you pay for the spoon? Do you pay for the plate? Do you pay for the, fork and all? So they consider that, it's our misunderstanding. They are considering that, whatsoever basic disposables, it is included in the operative package. So we also have to understand their aspect. So we cannot ask for the disposables to be paid to us. It's a part of the service we are offering. Second thing is, like Chandra said, for example, I also used to get very annoyed by certain non-existent explanation. I asked for HOLEP, they asked, kindly mention the reason for hospitalization. Earlier days I used to write a long email, my friend, you need to go back to medical school and understand that it has been done anesthesia, and there are lots of fight. Now I don't go and do that. Patient needs surgery for which anesthesia is required, for which we need hospitalization, mamla over. So that is second thing. Third thing, and the most thing is, I would like to caution that, I am on a panel of scrutiny for the insurance companies. Last 6 months, I have got 5 cases to scrutinize as an expert. Now, the problem is there are people who are actually claiming HOLEP, they are doing TURP. There are people who are doing PCNLs, they are claiming RIRS. So they asked me how to go about that. So to remain ethically correct and as well as friendly to our own fraternity, what I told them, just go and inspect their armamentarium. Is there a laser? If that is a laser, is there a functioning laser? Do we have laser fiber? So this kind of practices might go unnoticed for 1, 2, 3 cases, but they are keeping an eye on it. And your own friend, like anybody who is an expert, they will have ultimately to give, like Shrenik Bhai, we can protect to an extent, but otherwise we'll have to tell them that if certain person has not laser, how would he do HOLEP? So this kind of ethical compromise, I request all, we should not do it.
So let me tell you how it happened. Because initially people we used to charge, when this was many years back, because I know that I've been to one of the ADA members, asked what is going on. So why are you not paying gloves bag? Why not paying for urine bag? They said initially some corporate hospitals, they used to charge for urine containers, the steel ones which we have, in five containers. So what is actually written is urine container. Disposable urine bag is payable. So if you write clearly, disposable urine bag is payable. Again, gloves pair. Normally when the IRs in it, they use their gloves, the unsterile gloves. So one pack was written for each patient for a day. So if you write sterile gloves, it is payable. That is one. And second, about recently we had a denial for authorization for an RIRS. So all we wrote is, kindly note that this is a flexible ureteroscopy operation and RIR stands for retrograde intravaginal surgery and not robotic intravaginal surgery, and we got the payment. They thought RIR stands for robotic surgery. Yes, the thing is, IRD has set up a list of non-medical, non-payables. Now, each insurance company, the medical officer, DHMS, or whosoever, takes it, they write reasonable and customer, and they cut it. So, you have to actually fight back if you want to.
Just a final comment. So making cashless is easy. Renegotiating is very difficult. So getting the first, whenever you join the cashless for the first time, negotiate the best deal. Is then offer is very difficult. First offer is the best offer.
Touch wood, I did not face that. So, Usabhai, touch wood, I have not faced that as of now. But just like normal mediclaim, if suppose there are some certain complications and the patient needs, prolonged stay, then I will put it. And suppose I will give you an example. For RILS, it's generally a 1-day job, right? So if the patient has fever, then I keep him for suppose 2 days. So I give the charges. Initial was around 1, so for 2 days, then I'll put the room rent extra. As of now, they have not created any problem.
One question.
Could you please use the mic, please?
Payment getting done to you by
That is what, sir, the last slide was word of caution. Be very clear to the patient. भाई मेरा मामला है ही नहीं, तुम जानो तुम्हारा रिम्बर्समेंट जानो. It's not between you and me. Company is not going to, sir, see, now, so yes, I'll say this. No, sir, वो starting में agreement है. Read the agreement, and if the agreement says something like this, that if the payment is not completed, then the doctor have to pay slash that thing. Because everyone is doing that, the company cannot ask the doctor to pay. वो initial agreement में अगर आपने उसको sign कर दिया तो problem है, लेकिन नहीं होता है. Doctors are not at all liable for this. But see, sir, we are paying them 10%. For what? Sir, I'm just asking you this, that you can tell this. There has been instances with that the company told me, or, sir, my question to them was this, for what are you taking that 10%? कहाँ मिलता है 2 महीने का 10% ब्याज?
complication goes suppose sort of the answer 1.5 lakhs the company doesn't give detail about the decision take the vehicle and check it with the company and if 1.1
हाँ, so
they are offering that 1.5 lakh is very
these companies are run by insurance people only, finally. So suppose RIRS hai, you cannot charge 1.5. They will only reject it. They will say, nahi sir, we will give you only 1 for this. But the amount that they are giving is higher, it is equal to reimbursement. Yes.
But there is a problem. Companies keep asking for mode of payment. Here, companies ask for mode of payment, they ask for their entries, how the payment was made in cash. If they ask the patient to show whether there is a deduction from his bank account or not.
So sir, for that, the company is going to ask the patient, right? Now the patient has said that I have employed another one to give that amount, and they will give you in check only, everything. So the third party, suppose आपकी सर्जरी है सर, आपके रिलेटिव ने पैसा दिया, वो सेम चीज.
Alright, we'll have to stop here. Thank you.
last comment just what they mentioned about complication. The easiest method of managing a complication is readmission. You tell the patient and readmission your complicated problems are managed.
True.
Well, thank you all the speakers for this wonderful talk, and I would thank all the moderators for their time.